Hey guys, Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have a very special guest. Guess who's joining me and Jerry today? Megan. She's a coach here. Hey Megan.
Hey, Amanda.
Megan's a coach here at Create Your Future, and we thought we'd come on so you can kind of get to know the coaches that we have here. So we're going to interview Megan and ask her a lot of awesome questions, and just hopefully, and I intend that we will add some value to this video for you guys today. So if you haven't already subscribed, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon below, and as well the link to sign up for coaching is in the description of this video, like it always is. So thanks for being on this video today, Megan.
And well, thanks for having me.
So welcome. So we're going to talk about law of attraction, of course. And so I guess the first question is what's your biggest breakthrough that you've had with law of attraction?
Well, one of the biggest breakthroughs, I think, for me was realizing it's all about me and taking the focus off everybody else, but shifting it onto me and realizing that I'm the God of my reality and I have to be confident. I have to feel good about myself. And therefore, if I think that everybody is untrustworthy or the world is a certain way, if I'm viewing that way, then everybody's going to be reflected back to me that way. And that's exactly what I'm going to get. So that would be my biggest breakthroughs once I started realizing it was all coming from my subconscious mind. And that's what I was getting. So I started telling myself, no, I trust people. People are trustworthy. The world's trustworthy.
You know, and you bring up an excellent point, right? It does come from our subconscious mind, and how we reprogram it is exactly what you said, is start consciously changing the thoughts in the front of our mind. So we get them to the subconscious and then they start getting projected out. And everyone, as you pushed out, is a huge breakthrough for everybody. I mean, so I guess the question is.
Oh, I was just going to add one more thing, and I think it's more than that. It's also the fact of once you start thinking about what are my underlying assumptions. So how am I viewing the world? So you can do your mental diet. You can think this and that and say, oh, I intend for so-and-so to be with me. I intend for somebody to see this certain thing in me. But if your underlying assumption are guys suck, the world can't be trusted, everybody cheats on me, relationships don't work out for me. If you don't work on those core assumptions first, then you're going to have a hard time attracting anything into your life that you want.
Oh, that is so incredibly true, because you know what, one thing, and I was going to do a video on this, so I'll touch on it now, is people always ask me, how are people created? I didn't create that person. Well, people, how we actually create people is we may not specifically say, you know, Jerry is like this, but we have, you know, assumptions about the general public. And those assumptions, you know, whether, you know, sometimes our assumption is there's good people, bad people. Well, as soon as we make that general assumption, guess what? People are going to show up bad, people are going to show up good, you know. And so how we change that is, now everyone I come across in my life is always really, really good and amazing, you know. So
absolutely. And kind of get yourself out of the victim mentality. And that was something else I started noticing with myself, is almost, why is this happening to me? Instead of realizing, wait a second, you're creating everything here. You are the creator. So get yourself out of that victim mentality, start seeing things differently, and realize you can actually change the whole entire world by that. So my world.
I intend that everybody sees that they are a powerful God in their reality. So, you know, I mean, it's no lie, okay? Like, keeping ourselves in this state of mind all day long is definitely maintenance. What is your morning routine to get you up and going and in the right frame of mind?
Well, actually, I try to set my alarm a little bit earlier because I have kids, and then I just start on this rampage of, you know, I get everything I want. Today's going to be a good day. I'm God of my reality. Everybody's me pushed out. I intend to see the good in everything today. I intend for everybody to treat me with respect. I intend to treat everybody else with respect. You know, and keep going over and over again. And sometimes I need, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, sometimes it needs to go on and on. Like, I just keep saying, I get everything I want. Things always work out for me, you know, over and over until I actually feel a shift. And I actually do feel some sort of shift.
Yeah, I do that every morning too, before I even get out of bed. Everyone's me pushed out my thoughts to create. Today I'm gonna feel good. Today is gonna be a good day. And you know, and we can even create intentions as you do as well. It's like, I feel good. Everything is gonna work out. I deserve to have everything I want. You know, it's those core beliefs in ourselves and the law of attraction that we do need to create as well, you know, because if we say nothing works, and guess what? Nothing's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely want to say things work, things always work. Yeah.
I think it's a meta thoughts too, like you just said, that really, really have to go through the day and think about. Sorry, you were saying.
Go ahead. Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah, I was interested.
That questioning too, and throughout the day, you can dip through the day, and there are times I might dip through the day, but I will go back on that rampage if I ever do. And checking in with yourself, I feel like is so important throughout the day. And not that, you know, the mental diet is so important, but some people get really scared. What I've noticed, especially with coaching clients, and I'm sure you have too, that people get so scared of like having a negative thought. And as we know, it can totally show up. But I think the important thing is to become aware. So the more you become aware and you say, oh, I have a negative thought, and I know my coaching clients know this, I've gotten obnoxious about it. I'm like, good job, you had that was a negative thought, but you caught it, you know? And so you catch it and you turn around and you figure out, okay, now I'm going to flip it around instead of dwelling on it. Because I think that's the biggest problem people have. They react, or I know I did in my journey in the beginning, was when I had a negative thought, I would go down this rabbit hole of, oh gosh, I screwed everything up. Oh no, I got to start over. What's wrong with me? And so now I'm just, like I said, just acknowledge it, because I think that's the first step for everybody out there, is being aware of your thoughts and not berating yourself after you figure it out and then switching it.
Yeah, you know, and you bring up an excellent point, right? You know, the funny thing was, actually, just like this morning, I was on reading the comments on some YouTube videos that I had posted recently, and I did this one video, and I did say okay a lot in it. And then sure enough, you know, I thought to myself, I'm like, I said okay too much. I'm like, oh, someone's probably going to say something about that. And sure enough, okay. Person comment, like, you said okay how many times in this, and I was like, I know, I started laughing because I knew I had that thought, and I was like, and there it showed up. So I think that's about taking them again a little bit more lightheartedly. I basically, when that happens, when my negative thoughts manifest, I laugh, and I'm like, I just take it as, oh wow, look at, I'm still creating, I'm still manifesting. And yeah, very important, you know, a part of the mental diet is when we go down that rabbit hole of beating ourselves up for having a negative thought, is about just stopping ourselves and correcting it in that moment. And that's part of the mental diet. And you're right, it's about being aware of our thoughts and being focused and disciplined on staying on top of them, because, you know, that's the name of this game, you know. And Neville says that, you know, we've got to be consciously aware of our thoughts. And if we're not consciously aware of our thoughts, we want to start creating our thoughts in the front of our mind more often, because when we look at it this way, our subconscious mind is basically like a car. Okay. And if our conscious mind, we're like the driver. Okay. So if we put our foot on the gas and there's a brick wall in front of us, the car doesn't care. It just goes. And that's like our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind, it hears thoughts, it accepts them, boom, it creates them. It's not like, oh, you didn't want that, I'm not going to do it. It's like, oh, you want that? No problem. Your wish is my command. Here you go. Right. So, right. You know, and, you know, beating ourselves up over negative thoughts and being worried about it just makes it so much worse, right? So it's about catching that. The more you catch it, the more that those thoughts will actually end up stopping and they'll give up, right?
Right. And I was going to make 2 points of that. You're so right. I think one thing is, and the more you become aware of it, you might start saying, oh, shoot, why am I not getting a text message? You know, as you're intending it, you might be intending for a text message, but it doesn't come through. But I've also noticed the bigger thing, yes, you can keep on intending, it will come through. But something else I learned in my journey is, why am I upset about the text message not coming through? What is the bigger thing behind that? Oh, I feel unloved. I feel unappreciated. So that's where people can take that even a step further and say, I am loved. I am appreciated. Everybody treats me like a priority. And I will tell you, as soon as I switch myself into that, it happens.
Every single time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, and that's right, because, you know, what you've pointed out there, it's exactly it, is like, the only reason we're not getting a text message is because we're making it mean that we are unloved, and we're blocking it with that. And it's rejection, right? And you're right, changing the, you know, taking and making it mean nothing, and or even countering the meaning that we have and changing it with the mental diet. Absolutely brilliant. You know, absolutely brilliant. That's exactly what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think people too, and I want to know what you think about this. I also tell people you have to persist in this, and because we have a lifetime of beliefs that we are kind of going through. And yes, manifestation can be really fun and really easy, but you have to be diligent with your mental diet. And I always say, if I were going to run a marathon, I mean, I might run a mile and then throw up. There's no way that I would be able to run that full marathon. I'd have to train myself or practice. Same thing I think Neville talked about with the piano. You're going to have to go out there and practice every single day. And some people just want to make it about their SP or the money, but I feel like it's much deeper than that. It's a way of life, and you should go out every day, practice it, and maintain it, use it like a muscle, but also don't give up and realize it's not a sprint. It is a marathon to get there, and you're awakening something inside of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I agree 120%, and I started out small throughout my life, and I kept building my belief, because it is basically building a muscle and building a belief, right? And, some of the biggest things that I've created that had the most amount of resistance with them, it was all those little tiny things that I had created along the way that kept me enduring for those 5 days or those like 2 weeks that I had to actually cause a huge breakthrough in my life. And it was just experience to now where nothing even phases me. I'm like, yeah, whatever, and I just fix it immediately on the spot. And and it's about doing it in every area of your life, especially starting in the areas where there's zero resistance, to really start to get to know yourself and to get to know your power. And, it's like, if you seriously had a magic wand, wouldn't you just use it on everything? Yeah. Wouldn't you just be like, let's see what it does to that tree. Let's see what it does to that cake. Like, wouldn't you just try it on everything? But that's what we have. We have magic wands, and that's our thoughts. And let's start practicing with it. Let's start having some fun. Like, let's get excited about this, because it's a really great thing. And that's what we focus on in our coaching is teaching people to be God, and they do get their SPs, and they do sell their houses, and they do manifest money. And, and because, we teach more than just manifesting the one thing. We teach people how to create their realities. And there's so much more benefit in it than, just manifesting one person. You do get that person, but you get so much more. I mean, I've had clients manifest, huge amounts of money, as well as sell their houses that they wanted to sell and buy their dream house and get their SP as well.
Right.
So,
yeah,
there's so much other out there, because, it's all those little things that we add in. Like, I know, like, once I manifested Andrew and moving in with him, I was like, I'm unstoppable. And I tackled everything in my life, including money, business. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, that's it. I'm like, they're taking all the stops out now, because I was excited. But it was all those little things that I had created up until then, free parking, all this other stuff, that, and, and that gave me the confidence to basically stick out those 5 days, and once we create something with a huge amount of resistance and we get through it, we realize, I can have anything I want. And that's a really, really good feeling. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think, like, sometimes, and I know for myself, sometimes when you make it about matters of the heart, it seems like it's bigger, but you got to stick it through. Just like, you've been there, I've been there, we've had many clients get there. And I think an important thing that people should also do, something I've learned on my journey, is making a decision. I mean, if you make a decision, you want your SP, you want a car, you want a house, you stick to that, and you don't let anything get you off your path. You don't let anybody throw you off. Nobody's thinking anything anyway. You're the only person in your reality. So don't let somebody throw you off, And one of the first things I did was I got tires. Okay, it's a long story, but I'll make it short. I wanted to get tires, 3 or 4 days of someone fixed it, then the tire went flat, and so forth, kept happening. But if I would have reacted one time to that, then it might have stopped my manifestation. But instead, I was like, nope, I made a decision. I'm getting free tires. Anytime something bad happened, nope, I made a decision. And it took about 7 days. And same thing with my SP, same thing. I say the same thing, but you just cannot react to what that has already happened and not react. You make a decision, you stay there, and know that it's going to happen, because that's what the law is.
Exactly. It's about cutting out the reaction and, the emotional reaction and catching ourselves, which I will do a video on, and I have done them in the past, and I will do a video on it in the near future. I was just thinking about that last night. So look at that. Everyone's you pushed out. Of course, you would bring it up.
Of course.
Anyways, though, but yeah, so thank you guys all for joining us here today. And, you know, again, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And I'd like to thank Megan for taking her time to come on to this video today and to meet you guys. And Jerry says thank you as well, right? He's got no baggage today, right? But no, wait, he's like, wait a minute, I've got baggage. They got it. So cute. Anyway, but and again, the link for coaching is down in the description below. Check it out for sure. And yeah, so everybody have a great day, and we intend that, you know, that you got something from this video to help change your life today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you, and appreciate all you guys out there too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.